hello. Welcome to spending quality time with your girl, Eposi Ziton. Today we're going to be talking about women. Now let's get started. Well, this is the month of March. This is the month that we celebrate women the world at large. We celebrate women for their role in the community, for their role as a people, and for their role as nurturers, caregivers, mothers, sisters, and just everything that they've done to contribute to their communities. Well, I tell you what, today would have been that day that I would have called a lot of women that have put their footprints that some of us are able to walk on to be able to do what we're doing. But unfortunately, on my platform, I do not call people's names, so I'm unable. This is the one time that I do regret that I've made a decision not to call people's names on my platform, because this was a day that I should have celebrated, because I have a lot of women who have been instrumental for me to do what I'm doing. They gave me the courage, the empowerment for me to stand here and feel like as a girl child, I can also empower my community. Well, when we talk about women, women have always felt marginalized and looked down on and suppressed by their male counterparts in workplaces, social environments, and just every facet of life. So that's why women came up with the whole idea of women equality and had different conferences like the Beijing conference just to talk about what they've been through as a group. Well, today I want to say that women have taken a journey that they've started having recognition. It's not still equality like they wanted it, but at least women are being recognized for a lot of things that they do in their communities. Think about it. Whenever you want to be recognized, you have to work hard. You will have to stand up strong and tall like a pillar for people to see that you do exist. And that's what women have done. Because once upon a time, women were looked upon as underdogs. They were looked upon like they shouldn't have a voice when their male counterparts are talking. They should be behind the screen, not in front of the screen. But women have fought so hard. We have women who have been role models, instrumental the world at large, just to give that right to us women to be able to stand up and talk and celebrate as women. And our male counterparts are now very vigilant, observative. They are very observant to hear what we have to say. And they are supporting us in a journey to be heard and in a journey to get equality that we're looking for. Well, when we talk about equality, I did women's studies. So when we talk about equality, a lot of people feel like we just want to be in a position of control. No, women just want to be able to know that they are not unfairly treated. They are not looked upon like an underdog and treated like they don't have no significance. Because if you think about it, if we go to biblical times, they talked about the virtuous woman, because it's believed that a woman has to be virtuous to be able to lead her community. If we think about even for those who are Christians, Jesus that we all looked up to, he came through a woman because God felt like a woman was very noble for him to send this noble human being through her. God could have just made Jesus to just appear and he would have still had the recognition, but God wanted him to be human like me and you and passed him through another woman who was the Virgin Mary. So women have a huge role that society has to recognize, because even our Lord God gave us that recognition to pass the most honored man in the world to come through a woman. Well, we can go on and on and on and on and on about the role of women, because even when I was a little girl, I always like to tell tales because the world is all about telling stories. Well, when I was a little girl, I used to live in a town that they call Batibo. That's where I went to my primary education. And there was this woman in the community that was treated almost like the males. She was recognized, she was honored, she was always welcome in every gathering, and people looked up to her for advice, for guide. That was because she had made a huge impact in her community. She was a farmer. She went to farm, she did cotton, she did corn, she did beans, and just everything that you could think of, she planted just to be able to support her community and also to be able to support her home. She gave things to everybody that needed help, for those that she could help. And she even supported what they used to call back then the chiefs, because the chiefs were people that for every harvest you have to present good offerings to them. And she did that and did that very well. So she gained that recognition and significance in her community. So I tell you what, you don't have to have the biggest education as a woman to support your people. You can use whatever force that you have, the ability to work hard and be able to be a blessing to your community. Because I always say that there's nothing like you are this beautiful tree that stand up tall and strong, and everybody goes about and say, wow, how beautiful. And when you're cut off, people come and use you for wood and even dig the trunk and also use it for wood. And before you know it, it's almost like no tree was ever standing there. We have to be, as a people, to give our legacy to those who are coming behind us, because there's a tendency that people are greedy. People have a lot of gifts and crafts that they can share and bless others, but they're just greedy. They don't want to share it. But as women, that's what we need to do. We are nurturers. We are guides to our people in our community. We should be able to take our gifts and our talents and show the younger generation so they can go along and keep that legacy and make women to keep feeling proud and tough and strong. You know, because at the end of the day, there's nothing like you just live in this earth without blessing anybody where they can tell your story after you're gone. Because like I said, all our lives is all about tales, telling stories. Well, today I stand here as a woman to say that women emancipation has been very instrumental in our world at large. And for us to foster and go ahead and keep empowering us as a people, we need to form workshops. We need to form teams where we are supporting each other, giving people ideas. Because you have a lot of women out there who want to bless their community, but they don't know how to. They don't have the resources. They don't have the guide. They don't have the support. So how are they going to do it? But they just need women who have that ability to guide them, to support them, and show them the way to go about their big ideas so the world can become a better place. I've always said that my role is always to see how the world can become a better place. And that's my mission. And that's why when we come to days like this or months like this that we're talking about a group like women, I take it very important to come out and educate and advise and guide my community to say that as women, it's not just by talking, it's also by doing. We need to form clubs, we need to form groups, we need to form just different support systems. Because think about it, you have a mother who has a sick child that needs support, that needs guide, that needs advice on how to go about it. You have a mother who is just suffering with the children, just need somebody to say, this is income, you can use this and start a business. They don't have it. They don't even need much. In our local communities, they don't need much. They don't need hundreds and thousands of dollars. All they need is just a little, maybe 20,000, 50,000. I'm talking about Cameroon income, Cameroon money. 50,000 in US dollars is about $100. That's all that some people need in order to start something, and they don't have it. And sometimes it's too much for one person who is also struggling to be able to give them that support. And how many people are you going to support anyway? So a lot of times we have to come up as women and form teams and form groups and talk to the local women, talk to the grassroots women and find out how can we help you all? How can we empower you all so you all can go out there and also be a blessing to your community? Please, Women's Month is not just us celebrating as women. It's not just us talking like what I'm doing right now. It's about us doing. It's about us coming up with ideas, ways of changing the story of the girl child. Because the girl child has been that child who has suffered. Back in the day, the girl child was that child that no education was even offered to them. They figured, why waste all the money and the resources to give education to a girl child who is going to get married and be taken care of by a male or by a man? But let me tell you, if you find out the stories of the societies back in the day, especially in Cameroon, where I come from, the men were just figureheads, because the women were still the ones who went to the farms with their kids and work hard and raise money and even give the men while they also take care of the family. So it's almost like just some kind of a belief that men are the heads of the household. No, our world today, as much as men support their women, so the household can be in a good standing, women are also very hardworking. They work alongside their male counterparts to be able to support the home. So that whole myth of men being the breadwinner, I am not saying that they are not, because I have a man who is hardworking and supports his home. But I'm saying that women do work with their men hand in hand in order for the homes to be successful. So the month of March is a very important month for our communities, for our society, for our countries, and for the world, because women should be recognized and should be given a place in the world so they can know that their efforts are being noticed. We are a force to reckon with, and for that reason, our male counterparts should try to recognize that. I do know that our world of today, a lot of men are very aware and cognizant of the fact that women are a very strong force for them to succeed. Because that's why they always say that every successful man need a strong woman, because women have a lot of wisdom. Even the men who have gone out there and made a great impact in our world of today is because they have very strong and tough women that guide them and motivate them and make them know that you can, because I'm behind you. So women should never be taken for granted. Once more, I'm going to say it was nice spending quality time with you all. And bye for now.